Okay, we are recording. Hello, everybody. How are you doing? Welcome to this brand new series on YouTube and my first video for my YouTube channel to hopefully kickstart this into motion. Welcome to the season premiere of the DJ Bagpuss Show. I'm your host for today and for this series, DJ Bagpuss. So sit back, relax, and I hope you enjoy this episode and what the series has to offer. And this is a brand new podcast series where I'm going to be talking about different topics, covering so many different areas, and create a dialogue with you, my viewers, and basically starting the DJ Bagpuss family. I'm going to kickstart the family. I want as many members as possible, and hopefully you guys enjoy this series. This is all for you guys. This is not just my podcast, this is your podcast, and I hope you enjoy what we have to offer in the next coming weeks and in the episodes to come. So, DJ Bagpuss, what is the DJ Bagpuss show about? What are you going to be talking about? Why should I listen to your podcast? Why should I become a member of the DJ Bagpuss clan? Why? What's in it for me? Maybe I just want to go and watch a cute meme video on YouTube. Why should I sit here and listen to your podcast? Well, I'll tell you for why, and I'll give you a couple of things as to what is to come on the DJ Bagpuss show. If you are a fan of movies, then check, this series is for you. If you're a fan of video games, then check, this series is for you. If you're a fan of football and sports, then check, this series is for you. If you are a fan of hot topics in the news, check, this series is for you. And last, but by no means least, if you're a fan of music, then check, this series is definitely for you. If you love listening to music, if you're a fan of music, if you love talking about music, then this is the series for you. If any one of those points that I've just come up with about what the series is something that you enjoy, then this series may well and truly be for you. And any support that is given to this series will be hugely appreciated. And there are a couple of ways that you can do that. This isn't just my podcast, this is your podcast, and I want you guys to get involved and, as I said, become part of the DJ Bagpuss family. The best way to do that is at the end of the episode. If you've enjoyed what you've heard and want to see more of this, then like this video and also subscribe. Most importantly, subscribe to my YouTube channel, because you'll never ever miss a single episode of the DJ Bagpuss show, and that will be absolutely amazing if you do that. You can also take part in the series by commenting your questions and queries and any feedback in the comment section below, or you can go over to my Twitter page, which you'll be able to see on the thumbnail of this video. My Twitter is at DJBagpuss1998, or you can use the hashtag DJ Bagpuss show, which is capital D, capital B, capital S. I'll leave the links to that in the description and on the thumbnail of this video. If you go over and follow me on Twitter and also get in touch with the show by using that hashtag, then you'll be part of the DJ Bagpuss family and be able to take part in this series. It's not just my podcast, it's your podcast. On Twitter, you'll be able to see behind-the-scenes action of the DJ Bagpuss show. You'll also be able to find out news and any important announcements that is about the DJ Bagpuss show. You'll also be able to get an early access into what's to come on each episode. And last but by no means least, you'll be one of the first people to experience the new episode when it's uploaded each Thursday. And I will immediately put that out on Twitter, so you will be one of the first people to experience the brand new episode. So that would be absolutely amazing if you could do all of those things, but it's only on your own merit. It's only if you want to. It's completely down to you, but any support, and if you guys could do any of that, would be hugely appreciated. This isn't just my series, this is your series, and I want you guys to get involved as much as possible. So that really is the overview for the series. I think I've had enough of my Mortana spiel. I think what better way is to kickstart the episode. This episode is DJ Bagpuss's love for music, and I'm going to talk about in this episode how my love for music happened, where it came from, and really kind of give you an insight as to why I love music so much and where that really strung from? Where did that happen? Was it a case of when I was a toddler running around with a dummy and headphones in, or did I go to bed with headphones, wake up with headphones, and constantly play music over and over again? That being a passion from a very, very young age. And actually, surprisingly, that isn't the case. And the first conversation that we're going to be talking about is about passion in general, because music is so passionate and it is so infectious that passion stems in life from when you're growing up, something that you're passionate about. And music is all about that. Music is all about that passion, and that passion driving and keep happening and turning and whirling and keep going. For me, growing up as a kid, I never had a real huge passion, and just before we also go ahead in the episode, this series is all about my opinions. What I'm saying isn't 100% conclusive. What I'm saying is not right, but it's not wrong. It's an opinionated series, and everyone who takes part in the DJ Bagpuss show is entitled to an opinion. So this is just where I'm looking at. This is what I feel. So I'm not 100% being factual. It's not conclusive. It's just my opinion. But certainly as I've spectated over my life, and now, being older, when you're a kid, you kind of get two kinds of kids growing up. You get kids that are passionate about one particular thing, and they have that one thing that they're destined to do, that they're so passionate that they want to achieve, and that's all that they revolve around, that's all that they want. And then you get other kids that like little different things that take things from here, there, and everywhere. They like so many different things. There's not one sole passion that people think is inside them. It doesn't make them as a person. They have different passions. It doesn't define what they want to do in life. And I was the latter of those two. I never had a real passion growing up for one particular thing. You sometimes you get children who want to be footballers when they grow up, and they're obsessed about playing football. Or you have children that want to be singers, and they aspire to be a singer, and that's all they want to do. You also have people that are that want to travel, to see the world, or to be gymnasts, or astronomers, or doctors. That one passion that defines them growing up, that they, as they get older, they research and develop and grow and adapt even more, so they can live out that passion when they're older. And for me, I never had a real, true, conclusive passion that was that one single thing. Like, do you know what? It wasn't that one single thing that kind of made me. I had lots of different things that I enjoyed, but never really one thing that kind of drew me into passion. And certainly my passion for what I want to do now came as I got older, and particularly when I went to secondary school, I started to discover my own passions in a different way. Because as a kid, I liked lots of things, and I've always been a big fan of films and games, but I've never had that one sole, mission in life to do. But when I got to secondary school, that started to change, and I feel like you start to find out who you are and what you want and the character you are, and you start defining yourself when you get to secondary school. Because when you're in primary school and growing up, and maybe people my age will be able to relate to this, you are told of the best way to go about what to do. You're told specifically about right and wrong, which is all good. Is all what we need to. Our parents tell us right from wrong. They tell us, they kind of put us on the path of which road to go down, and that's all very well and good. But once you get to secondary school, you start being unique. You start finding your own uniqueness. You start to find what defines you, and that to me is what happened. I started to really enjoy music and really start to love music, not just as a fan, but start to idolise over music. And I've been a massive fan of movies and video games, as you'll see in future episodes. And I believe that music, video games, and films, intertwine and connect almost like a perfect relationship. They work so well together. They're all very, very close. They all adapt and grow and connect with each other. And it kind of, the thing that I'm doing now relates to all of these different things, which I think is absolutely amazing. So that really is where my passion started. I mean, growing up as a kid, I always wanted to present. I've always enjoyed speaking and talking and debating and presenting. And when I was a kid, I wanted to be a sports presenter, a talent show presenter. I also wanted to be a pathologist, but then I wasn't particularly good at science, so that was like a 2-week thing that kind of faded. And then when I got into secondary school, I started to think about radio and going into radio presenting and being a radio DJ. And the show that I'm doing now, I can talk about my passions of music, films, video games, and all of that, and still have the means of keeping, you know, music at the forefront, which I think is absolutely amazing. I also have music stem from my family, which as I've got older, I've certainly noticed of being much more of an impact than what I necessarily thought growing up. My dad is a massive influence on what I'm doing right now and what music means to me. He inspires me each and every day, and he is such a driving force into what I do, and has been there so much, and I have huge respect and admiration for him. But he was a radio DJ back in the 70s and the 80s, and he used to go around on the decks, and he used to do shows, you know, up in London's East End. He'd be, you know, the DJ for nightclubs. He'd be on the clubbing scene. He'd have his decks, and he would do a show. He would do a live show on, you know, a Friday night, Saturday night, and he did that for 12 years. His DJ name was For Your Pleasure, and he said to me once that music was his pleasure, and I'm their pleasure. So, you know, it's for your pleasure, which I did think was quite a tip of the tongue, really. But something he also said to me, which has really resonated with me, particularly as I've grown up, and he said at the start of every single show, and he did this for 12 years, so from the early 70s, going into the early 80s. He said that at the start of every single show, he would feel physically sick, absolutely physically sick, like, it was like, you know, when you go for a job interview or you go on a date or you start in school or college for the first time, you have that feeling in your belly that you could be physically sick. And he never lost that in every single show he did. And you think after 3 or 4 years, it'd be like, you know, clockwork, you know, you'd be able to do it with your eyes shut. But it's because passion. He was so passionate about music and doing a good show that feeling was always there, and passion is the driving force behind so many things. You know, it makes us do great things. It makes us achieve what we want to achieve. Passion drives us to challenge ourselves, to grow, to adapt. It does all of these different things, and that to me is a clear message that he is teaching me every day, even if he doesn't realise he's doing it in the process. I also have 3 older sisters, which for any person out there listening that has 3 older sisters, you know that it's going to be a loud household where you're going to have moments of drama, suspense. You know, you could write a soap opera having 3 older sisters, particularly, but they're absolutely lovely. I adore all my 3 sisters. I love them to bits. Obviously, having 3 older sisters means that music's played pretty much from, you know, when the sun rises to long after the sun sets. And as you also know, that doesn't go particularly well down in a household. You know, it doesn't go according to plan. Yeah, my youngest sister, well, my oldest sister, who is the youngest out of the 3 older sisters I have, but she still does it now. She has a habit of constantly playing a song over and over again on a loop. You know, so the song would end, you know, it'd be la 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 la. Song would end, back to the start, na 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 na, and it'd be over and over again, like clockwork, over and over and over again. Like, you think to yourself, oh, please, please, please do something. Dear Lord, please do something. But it grows on you. You know, especially as when I'm sitting gaming and, you know, I'm playing video games, you know, for leisure, or speaking to my friends, and I can hear her playing the track in the background. And it might be a song that is completely away from the type of music that I like. And originally I keep hearing it and thinking, I absolutely hate this. But then after a while I think, actually, this is pretty good. Yeah, this this is not bad. I kind of like this. I think this is quite good. And so that has to be playing with me, because as I've got older, I opened up my mind to lots of other different, pieces of music. But yeah, that to me was where really, I've got musical roots, and that has played a big part of me as I've got older. And because I did it when I was younger, when music wasn't a huge part of my life, it's got to be in me somewhere, because it's happened for years and years and years. I've got musical roots. I have, got an idea of what I want to be a radio DJ. That would be the dream job. Going into radio, doing something like this, on a full-time basis would be the dream. And I know exactly what I want to do. I've got a passion for music, films, video games, etc. And I've got to the point now in my life where I know exactly what I want and what I want to achieve, essentially. And that kind of leaves us perfectly to the next stage of my life, what happened when I left school, and what really kind of convinced me that this was the right thing to do. Now let's get on to the second discussion of the episode, and this is the next stage in my life. This is where I really discovered what my passion was. I really knew what I wanted to do, and kind of set me up for the job that I want to have, so I can feed my wife and kids one day and have a successful and happy life doing this. And it's down to the course that I chose at college. And for those of you that don't know me, I'm studying music technology at college, which is equivalent to 4 A levels. It's a level 3 extended diploma course, which teaches you about the technical side of music, making music, setting up live gear to complement music, how music works in the media. It gives you so many different outlets. I'm on my second year currently. It's a 2-year course. I completed the first year last year, got a distinction, which I was very, very proud of. Now going into the second year, hopefully to get my qualification and then to send me on the path of what I want to do, which is, live music, being a radio DJ. It kind of came about, really, not out of the blue, but it came to me rather than me coming to it. Searching for it. It was searching for me, really. It's a bit of a tongue twister, that one. I originally was thinking of going into media because I love media and, movies, television shows. And on the very next page of the media, when I was reading the media, and I wasn't particularly happy with what I was reading, so I turned the page over, and the next page to it was music technology, and I gave it a read through, and I loved every word that I read. That was the most beautiful piece of literature I've read in years. It was brilliant what I was reading. It was right up my street, hands-on. I mean, I can do written work, I enjoy written work, but I wanted to go to college to do something away from textbooks and writing, because I'd done that for 5 years and done it well. I wanted something a bit more, at the other side, a bit practical. It talked about music in films, video games, and I mean, I had no musical experience. I didn't play anything. I had no background knowledge when I was doing this. So, that to me was transcended. It was like a match made in heaven. And when I went for the interview, after the interview, I enjoyed everything that he said and more, my lecturer. And thanks to my lecturer, who's absolutely amazing at what he does, I've loved it. I've loved every single moment of it. I've learned stuff that I never thought. I've become much more confident because going into something completely unknown, like today, the first episode, there's going to be moments in this episode that might be a little bit rough or sketchy, but it's about growing, it's about adapting and expanding, and I think I've certainly done that on this course, because the worry I had is because I didn't have any experience. I thought I wasn't going to do well, or I wasn't going to get on with the course, I wasn't going to fit in. And it's been an absolute dream. It's been an absolute dream. I mean, recording this podcast right now wouldn't have been possible had I done music technology. Learned how to do it. I've been taught, and it's kind of taken me on the path to get to where I want to be. And we do so many, we do live sound, we do sound to film, sound to game, we do remixes, we do synthesizer sub, but we do so much that incorporates over a 2-year cycle, and it gives me so much more knowledge and appreciation really of music, because after doing this course, you speak to other people who do musicology, you kind of listen to music a different way. You appreciate it even more because you understand the instrumentation and how, kind of specifics really. You kind of become even more picky because you know how it's done, and you know the specifics, you know the techniques, you know everything about that. But it's been an absolute dream, and it's a course that has taught me so much more, has made me grow into someone much more confident, and it's been an absolute blast doing the course. And to me, I'm in such a right course because I've now got the techniques of going into live sound, going into radio, but also it works so well with movies, video games. The course, it isn't just specific to one thing. I mean, it's about the technical side of music, but it's so varied, and it gives you so many different options. And I think, in college, I mean, this is advice I give to anyone. If you're going into something that you have no background or no experience, don't be afraid. Just try. Be persistent. Give it, your best shot. Give it 100%, because, you can do it. Anyone can do absolutely anything. And if you had said to me 2 years ago that I would go into a musicology course, get a distinction, and be confident doing all these different things and do quite complex stuff, I would have, laughed your hand off, really. I would have bit your hand off and then laughed with it. I wouldn't have imagined it in my wildest dreams. So in life, if you're going into something completely unknown, give it your best shot. Try your absolute hardest. What you believe, how the best way of doing it. Just give it a go. Be open-minded. Be positive. And music also does that. Music makes you positive. Music motivates you. And that will be our next segment, our third segment, about the feeling of music. But I thought it was important to talk about, the course of what I'm doing, because it's in context where, as a kid, I had so many different projects. I didn't really know what I wanted to do. At school, I got my grades and then wanted to go into radio, and knew that that was the path I wanted to go down, and then found this course, and it's kind of put me on the path to where I want to go. And someone said to me once that education will be the start of something great, and I've been in positions, particularly if you're a younger viewer that is still in school, we all get that thing of, it's such a chore, a droll, I don't want to be here anymore, I'm getting sick and tired of doing all this constant work. Is it worth it? Believe me, it is worth it. And I'm not just saying it as a cliche, and also, I mean, what you put in is what you get out. But more importantly than that, it is so important just getting through that education stage, because once you get to college, you're going to do something that you want, and it's going to put you on the path of something amazing. Even if you're not 100% confident and convinced that that is the right path to go down, it will put you on that path. Because if you're doing something that you think you're interested in, like I was with music, and it's made me go down the path of wanting to do it as a full-time job, to do it for the rest of my life. And either that might just be me getting luck, or that might be me, just be in the right place at the right time. But it's just come together so perfectly that I think that's absolutely amazing. And that really is the heart and soul of the message. Keep trying, do something that excites you, do something that's challenging, and in the end, the reward will be quite huge. But I'm going to talk about how music makes people feel, and kind of the meaning of music. So I hope you guys enjoy it. Please leave a like and subscribe if you're enjoying the episode so far. Well, let's go on to our third discussion of the day, our third segment, which is about how music makes us feel, and the inspiration and meaning, really, of music. Because I think this is quite an interesting to talk about, and certainly something to get your minds thinking and something to ponder. Really, what I said in the previous segment about advice on going into college and picking the right thing that will define you and put you on the path to work. This is also something to think about and to take away from the episode, and that really is about how music makes us feel, its meaning. What does it do as a purpose in life? And to kind of explain this really well, I'm going to give you 3 scenarios about how music makes us feel, even unintentionally, because we don't think about this every single day. But I'm going to throw it out there, and I want you guys to leave your comments down in the comment section below. Tell me your thoughts about this, what you think, and it will make sense once I give these 3 scenarios. But that'll be really cool to interact. I think this will be quite an exciting and interesting thing to talk about. So, first scenario. You're at a party. We've all been to parties. All my listeners out there at some point or another have gone to a party. You go to a party. Now, could you imagine going to a party without music? So, it's a party, but there's no music. It's just a conversation. Music is irrelevant. It's not played at a party. Scenario 1. Scenario 2. You've had a really, really bad day. You're really upset. You're really down. We all have down days. We all have days which we wish that we could forget. But you can't listen to any music. Music. You haven't got access to any music. Yeah, scenario 2. And scenario 3. If you're cleaning or having a shower, or you're going on the bus, or you're travelling from A to B, and you can't play music. How will that make you feel? You're driving in a car, a long journey, say 3, 4, 5 hours, no music. On the bus, 20, 30 minutes, no music. In the shower, 5 to 10 minutes, no music. That would be really bad. That really would be quite horrible, really, because my point to those scenarios is that without that, those things that you're doing would become even more of a chore, or be depressing, or like as a party would go from a positive to a negative, because music makes us have fun at a party, makes us want to dance, to have fun. When we're doing chores or things that we're not particularly enjoying, music makes us get on with them and cheers us up a little bit. We've had a bad day, music makes us smile. Music makes us travel to somewhere completely different, somewhere, exciting, sexy, beautiful. It takes us to a place like that, and, that is how music makes us feel. It makes us feel like we're the only ones that is talking to, that, music can never harm us or hurt us. Music improves life. It just does, whether you're having a party, or whether you're go and pick up someone, or go on a long drive, or whatever you're doing, music is always a positive. And I think the meaning behind music is to get a reaction. It's to make you feel something. Even if whatever you're doing, it's making you want to do something. It's making you want to, become something, if that makes sense. It's about connecting with this piece of music, either that's just by singing, dancing, or nodding your head to it, or enjoying what you're hearing. You're connecting with that piece of music, and it's huge. I think it's hugely important, because I think people, we don't ever think about that. It's not brought up in conversation, but here at the DJ Bagpuss show, it's kind of nice to talk about things that are out of the ordinary. It's not going to be something you're going to be talking about, on Saturday morning around the breakfast table. It's something to think about, and the more you think about it, the more you start to waver, your opinions, because music, when you're listening to it, has got to make you feel something. Otherwise, it's, it has to. Even if you don't like what you're listening to, you're still getting that feeling. Music makes you feel something, and good music makes you feel positive. Good music makes you feel happy or excited. Even music where, say, for example, you're listening to, a loved one who has passed, their favourite track, and it makes you sad, but it's kind of a joyful sadness because you're remembering the good times of someone that you truly loved. And just music's just amazing. It's just amazing because we never fall out with music unless you don't like music whatsoever. You don't fall out with music. The quantity and sometimes the quality of what you're listening to, how much you listen to it, and what you're exactly listening to fades and changes, but you never grow out of music completely. And you have that motivation that music can sometimes change your life. It can bring you out of a deep, dark place. It can extend you being on top of the world. It can do so many different things, and I've certainly had moments in my life where music has either changed what I'm thinking or making me feel something completely different. Okay, quick example. I had my 18th birthday party recently, and I had to create, as DJ Bagpuss, I created this playlist, which you can follow on Spotify by following me, DJ Bagpuss, and you also can follow my playlist on YouTube, which is the best DJ Bagpuss. But I'll talk about that at the end of the episode. But I was creating this playlist, and I invited loads of groups of my mates round for this party, and I created the playlist of not just my all-time favourite tracks, but their all-time favourite tracks. So it was nostalgic and it was euphoric, and honestly, I kind of thought I was going to get a little bit stick because I wasn't just playing new tracks, I was playing tracks from 10, 15 years ago. But they loved it. They absolutely loved it because it brought back memories, it brought back moments of how much they loved those previous tracks. And, nostalgic music and euphoric music is just as good. Also, another story that I can throw to you, which is just about how music makes us feel. I obviously now, because I have an iPhone, I listen to a lot of my music on Spotify on my phone. But before I had a phone, I have an iPod, which I put 500 to 600 of the greatest songs of all time. So it's varied. It's from the early 80s, because I love 80s music, 90s music, naughty music, and new music that is coming out now, and lots of other pieces of music. But I have this iPod which has 500, 600 songs and has a subwoofer speaker. And recently I've been playing it while I've been chatting to my friends while gaming, and they love it because it's nostalgic music. It's music that they can relate to when they were growing up, and that also makes you feel, makes you remember the good times, the bad times, the ugly times. You get that feeling, and music just makes you feel something amazing. And kind of the point to all of this is that let music take you on the journey. If you're ever having a bad day, put headphones on, get lost in the world of music. If you're having an amazing day, end the day on music. Enjoy having parties where you're playing, constant tune after tune after tune that is amazing, priceless, atmospheric, if you like. And really, that is kind of the best way to go about it, because music is there. It will always be there. Music will never fade away. It will never die. It just changes. It adapts to the situation of as the years progress. You think about when music was on tapes, and then it will change to CDs. We've had it on Vines as well, and Vines have made a huge comeback in public consciousness. We've had we had records. We now have digital music where we get it from iTunes, Spotify. Now we get it on so many different formats. And that is just the music changing from each generation and adapting to the new circumstance. But music never dies, it never fades. I think that's absolutely amazing. And really, I think, something for you guys to think about when the episode ends, and leave your comments down in the comment section below, or on Twitter using the hashtag DJ Bagpuss Show, capital D, capital B, capital S. Just about how music has made you feel. Give me an example of, not to be personal, but when has there been a time where you feel a little bit down, or you've had a party where the playlist has been off the scale. Just give me your music moments. And speaking of music moments, that kind of sets us nicely for the final discussion of the opening episode, which is all about my favourite music moments. You know, the good, the bad, the ugly, as well. So that is what we're going to do. But before all of that, it's the final discussion of today, which is going to be all about our favourite musical moments of my life in general. Just some of my moments of music which I loved, some which I didn't love so much, and some that I'm kind of glad that I've got them out of my brain and they're going to resurface today, so it's not going to be a pretty sight for that. If you've enjoyed the episode so far, please leave a like and subscribe, and follow me on social media, on Twitter at DJ Bagpuss 1998, or use the hashtag DJ Bagpuss Show, capital D, capital B, capital S. Also, remember to leave your comments, questions and queries down in the comment section below. But I'm going to talk about just my favourite musical moments, and I think for everyone that is obsessed with music and loves music, there's a few tracks in our lives that define us, that are the moments that we go, yeah, that's the one, that is the one, that is beautiful, that does not need to change, that is perfection, that is perfection on a plate. And I think certainly quite a few in my life I certainly believe are, you know, in the top 5. I don't have a favourite track of all time. I don't have one that is to my bus, you know. I don't have something like that. I have a couple that I really enjoy, but certainly like maybe like a top 5, but I don't have one specific track that I go, that's the ticket, that is the ticket to heaven. A lot of the music that I love, and I kind of really love, and you're going to find out about a few of my favourite genres in the episodes to come, so I don't want to give too much away, but you're certainly going to find out about the type of stuff I like. There are 2 areas really that I kind of devour in terms of the music industry. The first one comes from movies and video games, where I watch so many films and play so many games that the music used in that has kind of been part of my DNA, has kind of been attached to me, almost like a leech really. There is another genre that I was listening to when I was very young, and as I've got older, just realised how much I love that. But you'll find all about that in the next episode of the DJ Bagpuss Show. So I've had a couple of moments where I've been sitting here listening to tracks that are simply perfection on a plate. I'm not actually going to tell you what these ones are, because they will be coming up in future episodes. But what I will say is that comment down in the comment section below also if you've ever listened to a track that you think is so like infectious and pretty much perfection that you can't change a single thing of it. You've not got a bad word to say about it. It's your heaven. You know, it's your wind beneath your wings. You know, it's stardust. Really, I think that'd be quite interesting. And tell me your favourite, you know, musical tracks of all time. I think that'd be really interesting to see. What I will tell you about though is some of the tracks that I've listened to that I thought were going to be amazing and have turned into, how should we say? Let's just say, had they not been made, no one would lose any major sleep over them. And this isn't me slating any, you know, musical track, because everyone has their own idea of music. Everyone's entitled to making their own music, and what I think is amazing or not so amazing, you might think is the complete opposite, and everyone has got an opinion, so this is not conclusive. There's been certain tracks that have had major hype around them, and you know, particularly when you've had an artist where after all of their previous work and then the next one comes out, and it's almost like a film where you're watching a film and it's a film that you hold dear to your heart, that you absolutely love, that is perfection, that you wouldn't change any little thing, you wouldn't move any particular thing, and when the movie actually comes out, like, you know, the second time for a sequel or a new chapter in that original film that you thought was, you know, amazing, basically like Christmas, birthday, everything like that rolled into one, and it turns out to be not as good as you think. And you have that with music, particularly when you've had artists which you've loved their work, and then it comes to the next one, you're like, oh. And I wouldn't slate anybody's work anyway, so, but, you know, we've all had moments like that where we love this particular artist, we love their work, we love all of their tracks, and then that one comes out when you're like, oh, I don't know, I'm not a big fan of that, which we all have, and that is fine. But I think what is really interesting is, financially also about money, and how, our musical moments don't define us, but they define the industry. Because you typically see that, let's take Justin Bieber for example. He is an artist that divides opinions. When I was younger, growing up, he was the laughing stock of, so many of my friends and me. We didn't give him the time of day. We laughed at him. We thought, all of these things, didn't want him, didn't need to know about it. But he actually, particularly in the last couple of years, has become a very, very strong artist. And you look at the amount of money that he made. I mean, he matched the Beatles at having his 3 tracks, number 1, number 2, number 3, for 5-6 weeks. That is some going, and the amount of money and revenue his tracks have made is astonishing, which means there is a huge place in the music market that wants him. He's in such high demand, and particularly, I would say, end of 2015, going into 2016, the amount of playlists that I listen to with my mates that have Justin Bieber on it, because some of his tracks are really good. I mean, I absolutely love Let Me Love You by DJ Snake featuring Justin Bieber. I think it's absolutely an amazing track. I also like Sorry and What Do You Mean. So, he has made tracks that I really enjoy, where before I would give him the time of day and laugh at him, because he's grown, he's adapted, he's become someone, deeper, and actually isn't just throwing out, rubbish here, there and everywhere. He has become a mature artist, and you got to give credit to him. Some people absolutely hate him, some people absolutely love him, but when you look at the money he's making, more people love him than more people hate him. I mean, I wouldn't be complaining if I was taking that money to the bank each week. It's a lot of dough. It's a lot of dough. Adele is another one that we could use as an example. I mean, I really like Adele. She makes a lot of money. I read somewhere in the paper that one of her tours will coming close up to 1 billion for 1 week's worth of live tours. Came up to nearly 1 billion. That is insane. That is absolutely crazy. That is absolutely astonishing, that kind of money. Some people like her, some people hate her, but the revenue she's got coming in means that some people most of the time really enjoy her. It's all about opinions. It's about our musical moments, what we like, what we don't like, and I think it's fairly natural to have an artist that you love, that you think is amazing, and then fall out of love with them, or fall in love with them after falling out, just like with me with Justin Bieber. So I just, music is varied. It's an opinionated business. And, I mean, I'd say advice you got, I would never slay anyone in the music business, because even though we have a laugh, we say, when we're watching, like, X Factor, we absolutely slay someone we find hilariously funny when they go up and audition and make a pig's ear of it. But, it takes fun. They're expressing themselves, they're showing themselves. They're putting themselves forward out into the public eye. That's bravery. That is brave to do. And also, in music, everybody has their own perception of what music should be and what it's like. So, I don't necessarily think that, you can have your opinion, but, to necessarily go all out your way or basically start a war, I'm not sure. It's also an interesting one because, going into the scene, in my eyes, I now have a wide open range of so many different artists where I feel like, well, I'll probably get some people from this show who necessarily won't like what I'm doing, and some people will like what I'm doing. I've got to, be able to take that, because I'm putting myself out. I'm putting myself out there into public eye, and you have to take it how it is and how it goes. And it's like that in music. What you might think is amazing, I might think is rubbish. What I think is rubbish, you might think is amazing. It's all about having an opinion and being entitled to that opinion, and I think that's absolutely, vital to, what music's about, and particularly what this series is about. It's about, opening the dialogue, throwing it out there, and getting, thoughts left, right, back and centre, throwing the dialogue out there and setting the scene, and you go away with the camera necessarily. So I think that has been a huge factor in it's an opinionated business, and some people who don't like negativity or positivity, it's about learning to cope with it and moving on. I tell you one of my favourite tracks of all time. I'm not going to give away what what I'm going to be doing next week, or in this episode. That will be to come, where I'll be announcing what's called the DJ Bagpuss show. But for today only, one of my favourite tracks of all time is Guru Josh Project Infinity, which, if you know the song, it might have given away what my favourite genre is. But let me tell you, that track, every time I listen to it, gets better every single time. Like when people look at a painting or watch a movie that they're in love with, and every time they watch it, it gets better and better each time. Every time I listen to Infinity, it gets better every time. The instrumentation of the track is absolutely amazing. How the vocals are pitched in behind the instruments, brilliant. How it makes me feel, makes me want to dance, makes me happy, makes me feel energized, makes me want to have a party necessarily. It is a golden track. I highly recommend it. It's in my place of the best of DJ Bagpuss, which you can see on my YouTube page in playlist. But it is absolutely brilliant. It's one of the best tracks I've ever listened to. It is my anthem necessarily, and it's coming up to being 10 years old next year. And also, the artist Guru Josh has sadly passed away, but he was a musical genius, absolutely musical genius. He also made Eternity as well. That's another really good track. But Infinity holds that special place in my heart, because every time I listen to it, it gets better every single time. That is my favourite track of all time, or one of them. I'm kind of contradicting myself there, because I said I don't have a favourite, but that is certainly in contention if I had to pick a favourite one. And maybe at the end of the series, I'll find out what my favourite track of all time. But it'd be really interesting to find out what your favourite tracks of all time, how music makes you feel, what you're getting on in terms of college, and what you want to do. Does any of you want to go down the same route in the music business? It'll be really amazing to find out as well. But that is it. That is the end of the first episode. So I hope you enjoyed the episode. Please leave a like and subscribe to my new YouTube channel if you've enjoyed the episode and want to see more of the DJ Bagpuss show. That would be hugely appreciated. Remember to leave your comments, questions and queries down in the comment section below, or you can also take the conversation onto Twitter. You can follow me at DJ Bagpuss 1998, or use the hashtag DJ Bagpuss show, capital D, capital B, capital S. Remember, for using the hashtag. I'm going to be uploading an announcement video very, very soon to discuss what's coming up on the DJ Bagpuss show, and also giving you guys an upload schedule and giving you additional information of the new series. So stay tuned for that. Make sure you subscribe to the channel so you'll be able to see that video when it drops very, very soon. Yeah, until the next episode and the announcement video, that is it for today. Thank you for listening, and I'll speak to you all very, very soon.
This is DJ Bagpuss signing out.